Mahal na Pangulo, handa na po ang talupad pandangal upang libutin. Mahal na Pangulo, tapos na po ang parangal.
Tapos po ang aking pasasalamat sa ating mga kawal sa kanila at ibigay ng mga.
Mga kasama, mga paabot, ating panawing pandangal, His Excellency Ferdinand Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines. Kanyang pusong pasasalamat, parangal na iginawad natin sa kanya ngayong umaga. Mabuhay!
Chairman ng PMAAAI, si Ambassador Gregorio.
May we request His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. proceed at Long Island Hall for the guest book signing.
Military Academy, Lieutenant General Rowan S. Tolentino, Philippine Army, and Ambassador Vidal E. Quirol, Chairman, Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated. May we request everyone to rise for the honors to the nation. Thank you. You may now be seated.
In a short while, the regimental commander will give a series of commands for the corps to execute the Manual of Arms. Starting with right shoulder arms, left shoulder arms, port arms, order arms, inspection arms, And finally, order arms.
At this point, Lieutenant General Rowan S. Tolentino, Philippine Army, the Superintendent, Philippine Military Academy, will now deliver his welcome remarks.
To His Excellency, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, good morning, sir, and thank you for honoring us with your presence here today. Our officer in charge, the Department of National Defense, Secretary Carlito G. Galvez, the Chairman of PMAAAI, Ambassador Vidal Quirol, the Vice Chairman, Cavalier Danilo Abinoja, and President PMAAAI, Cavalier Joselito de Guzman, Philippine Navy, and other members of the PMAAA Board of Directors, our Chief of Staff, General Andres C. Centinos, our Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police General Rodolfo S. Asurin Jr., the Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, Admiral Artemio M. Abu, Major Service Commanders, Lieutenant General Romeo S. Browner Jr., the Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Vice Admiral Toribio Adasi Jr., the Flag Officer in Command, and Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño, the Commanding General of the Philippine Air Force, the Lifetime Achievement Awardees, the Cavalier Awardees, the Cavalier Pandemic Heroes Awardees, the Jubilarians, the Diamond Jubilarians, the PMA class of 1963, the Golden Jubilarians, the PMA class of 1973, the Silver Jubilarians, the PMA class of 1998, the oldest alumni present, Cavalier Amaury Evangelista. Yes, sir. The youngest alumni present, Cavalier Chaini Gargara of class 2022. Commodore Viduya, the Assistant Superintendent of PMA, Brigadier General Julius Tumines, the Commandant of Cadets, and Brigadier General Jose de Mar A. Poli, the Dean of Academics, other senior officers present, the Cadet Corps, Armed Forces of the Philippines, headed by its Baron, Cadet First Class Troy Albano, Cadet Corps, Armed Forces of the Philippines, all fellow Cavaliers, distinguished guests, and of course, the lovely ladies of the Cavaliers, magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Each and every one of us have that feeling of nostalgia, and it steers our mind to reminisce about the dreams and aspirations forged within the four walls of our alma mater. Every year, this nostalgic feeling renews our spirit as we come together to meet with our mista, upperclassmen and underclassmen who became our brothers and sisters. We share the stories of the good old days of cadetship and the bond of brotherhood to survive the rigors of the training. Homecoming is a time to come together to strengthen this union and the most fitting occasion to retrace our roots, to invigorate our commitment in service to our country and people. Our coming home this year is inspired by a deep and profound purpose as we step on the same ground that witness our deepest fears, intense struggles, wildest aspirations, blood, sweat, and shimmering joys. We also come to remember the traditions and virtues that have kept this institution whole and strong. Guided by these noble objectives, and in my capacity as the superintendent, I welcome you, my fellow Cavaliers, on this momentous celebration. Charles Dickens said, "Every traveler has a home of its own, and he learns to appreciate the more from his wandering. Whatever we've realized and achieved after being in the academy should always drive us to keep coming home to offer the gift of wisdom and experiences that could bring about desirable change. We come together here as we are reminded not to veer away from our ideals of courage, integrity, and loyalty, the virtues and the character which had been honed while we were in the academy made us who we are today. Our academy is our stronghold. She saw us from our worst to the best that we became. May I end this with an excerpt from the poem of Oliver Wendell Holmes. There are no times like the old times. They shall never be forgotten. There is no place like the old place. Keep green the old spot. There are no friends like the old friends. Once again, good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Homecoming. May you enjoy your time as you go rolling home.
We shall now proceed with the awarding ceremony. The audience is requested to stand. Thank you. You may now be seated. May we request His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines, to present the Lifetime Cavalier Awards and Cavalier's Pandemic Heroes Award. Our guest of honor will be assisted by Ambassador Vidal E. Querol, PMA Class of 1973, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated, and Cavalier Joselito E. de Guzman, PMA Class of 1993, the President and Chief Operations Officer of the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated. In grateful recognition of their more than 50 years of dedicated, exemplary and unblemished service to the country, characterized by their faithful adherence to the virtues of courage, integrity, and loyalty, thereby establishing a reputation beyond reproach and worthy of emulation, and bringing honor not only to themselves and their family, but also to their alma mater, the Philippine Military Academy, and to the PMA Alumni Association Incorporated. The Lifetime Achievement Award is presented to General Benjamin P. Defensor Jr., Philippine Air Force retired, PMA Class of 1969. Lieutenant General Jaime S. de los Santos, Philippine Army, retired, PMA Class of 1969. And Governor Amado T. Espino Jr., PMA Class of 1972. Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated, Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. The Cavalier Award is presented to Police Lieutenant General Ricardo F. De Leon, Philippine National Police retired, PMA Class of 1971, for outstanding accomplishments in public administration. Lieutenant Senior Grade Walter S. Villa Gonzalo, Philippine Navy retired, PMA Class of 1975, for outstanding accomplishments in social field of community volunteer and special entrepreneur. Colonel Ariel O. Querubin, Philippine Navy Marines retired, PMA Class of 1979, for outstanding accomplishments in private enterprise. Lieutenant Colonel Demosthenes C. Doplina, Philippine Army, retired, PMA Class of 1982, for outstanding contributions to alumni affairs. Police Lieutenant General Jose Chiquito M. Malayo, Philippine National Police retired, PMA Class of 1989, for outstanding performance in command and administration. Rear Admiral Cesar Bernard N. Valencia, Philippine Navy, PMA Class of 1990, for outstanding performance in command and administration. Police Major General Eliseo D.C. Cruz, Philippine National Police, PMA Class of 1990, for outstanding performance in police operations. Major General Alex S. Rillera, Philippine Army, PMA Class of 1991, for outstanding performance in staff function. Brigadier General Consolito P. Ecla, Philippine Army, PMA Class of 1992, for outstanding performance in Army operations. Coast Guard Commodore Tito Alvin G. Andal, Philippine Coast Guard, PMA Class of 1994, for outstanding performance in Coast Guard operation. Cavalier Anne-Marie T. Herodias, Philippine Air Force, PMA Class of 1998, for outstanding performance in air operations. Captain Emerson F. Oxales, Philippine Navy, PMA Class of 2000, for outstanding performance in naval operations. Lieutenant Colonel Marion B. Kayat, Philippine Army, PMA Class of 2002, for outstanding performance in special operations. Major James Anthony A. Monteo, Philippine Air Force, PMA Class of 2009, for outstanding performance in air operations. And Captain Mark Rolly and Bacani, Philippine Navy Marines, PMA Class of 2013, for outstanding performance in naval operations. Likewise, the Cavalier Pandemic Heroes Award is presented to Secretary Roy A. Simatu, PMA Class of 1970, Co-Chairperson, Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Former Senator Gregorio Bihonasan, PMA Class of 1971, Member, Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Former Secretary Delphine N. Lorenzana, PMA Class of 1973, Chairperson, National Task Force created by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Mayor Benjamin B. Magalong, PMA Class of 1982, COVID-19 Contact Tracing Czar of the Philippine Government in response to COVID-19 pandemic. Secretary Eduardo M. Año, PMA Class of 1983, Vice Chairman of the National Task Force Against COVID-19. Secretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., PMA Class of 1985, Chief Implementer, National Task Force Against COVID-19 and Vaccine Czar. Secretary Rolando Joselito Di Bautista, PMA Class of 1985, Member, Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. And Coast Guard Vice Admiral Rolando Lizor N. Punzalan Jr., PMA Class of 1992, Commander, Philippine Coast Guard Task Force Bayanihan, Repatriation of OFWs. Given this 18th day of February 2023 at the Philippine Military Academy, Fort General Gregorio H. del Pilar, Baguio City. Signed, Ambassador Vidal E. Querol, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer. Captain Joselito E. de Guzman, President and Chief Operations Officer. Attested by Police Major General Raul L. Gonzalez, Chairman, Awards Committee, Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated. At this juncture, we will now witness the presentation of the diamond, golden, and silver medallions to our jubilarians. May we request the class presidents of the diamond, golden, and silver jubilarians to receive the medallions, to be presented symbolically by His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines. He is assisted by the Chairman and the President of the PMA Alumni Association Incorporated. May we now request the members of PMA Class 1963 and their loved ones to please rise. To receive the medallion from the President, on behalf of the Diamond Jubilarians is Commodore Ruperto S. Andaya of PMA Class 1963. Likewise, the loved ones of the Diamond Jubilarians will now don the medallions on the members of PMA Class 1963. Let us give them a round of applause. May we now request the members of PMA Class 1973 and their loved ones to please rise. To receive the medallion from the President on behalf of the Golden Jubilarians is Ambassador Vidal Iquerol, President of PMA Class 1973. Let us give them a round of applause. May we request everyone to please settle down. Thank you. We will now proceed with the oath-taking of the newly elected Board of Directors of the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated. May we request the newly elected Board of Directors to proceed on stage for the oath-taking. Likewise, may we request our guest of honor, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines, to administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name,
I, Cavalier Pandemic
having been duly appointed
appointed
to the position of Director of the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated,
to the position of Director of the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly
that
swear
I will faithfully perform my duties and responsibilities
that I will faithfully perform my duties and responsibilities
of my present position,
that
that I will support and uphold
I will support and uphold
the Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws of the Association,
the Articles of Incorporation and Bylaws of the Association,
that I will bear true faith and adherence to the same,
that I will bear true faith and adherence to the same,
that I will abide by its code of ethics,
that I will abide by this code of ethics,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may now be seated. At this point, Ambassador Vidal Iquerol, Chairman, Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated, will now give his remarks.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., esteemed guests, friends, fellow Cavaliers, good morning. To the new members of the board, PMAAAI, congratulations. Mr. President, let me convey to you my heartfelt thanks and appreciation, and more importantly, to the members of the Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated for your presence today as our guest of honor and speaker. It is our collective wish on your first year of presidency. Maraming salamat po. May I congratulate all the awardees for the job well done. We are indeed proud and grateful for your service to the nation. This year, we awarded for the first time the Pandemic Heroes to Cavaliers who, from the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, answered the call to implement the National Action Plan together with various agencies to contain the pandemic onslaught, which disheveled even the most advanced countries on the planet. The Pandemic Heroes Award is our positive report card to the nation that indeed the PMA graduates during the COVID-19 pandemic veritably transformed from the traditional war fighting to fighting the invisible virus. Two of these Cavaliers, Secretary Lorenzana, former Secretary Ed Anyu, with grim determination, enforced national government draconian measures of lockdowns, quarantines, and health protocols to check community transmission, to flatten the curve, such that today people wear masks even when not required. A Cavalier, Mayor Magalong, developed how to effectively monitor the infected and the transmission of infections to become the contact tracing czar. Once Cavalier Secretary Galvez became the vaccine czar, and he provided that kind of confidence on the vaccine procurement processes. Another Cavalier, former Secretary Roy Simatu, was sent to Cebu City to subdue the community transmissions there and turned over the city when the infection were very, very manageable. A fellow Cavalier implemented strict border controls. Another Cavalier, former Secretary Bautista of this WD, implemented the biggest social amelioration program of the country. The pandemic was terrifying as it was unprecedented in scale, magnitude, and depth, as well as in consequence. We see today consequential scars of our national economy, as well as symptoms of scarred psychosocial wellness, particularly of our children. Some Cavaliers were afflicted with COVID-19 virus more than once. Cavalier Secretary Lorenzana was afflicted with the virus 3 times. Cavalier Secretary Ed Anyu was also afflicted with the virus 3 times, and on the second time, he confided to me, "Sir, on the second time, I was terrified and truly felt I would die." Yet, they all went on with their task in bringing down the pandemic, and many Cavaliers were bright stars in the darkest hours of our national history in the pandemic, and their inspiring roles will linger long after the pandemic is gone. As the pandemic fades, the great power rivalry in the South China Sea right at our edge, distracts our national focus on economic recovery and national development. Fellow Cavaliers, we witness how our Commander-in-Chief has been skillfully navigating the tricky waters of the sea, the grip of Asian geography, and the political architecture of the region. The delicate balance of our military alliance and the indispensable need to pump prime our economy for national development and greater security and greater benefits to the soldiers. And rightly so. Our country's moment on the military alliance depends in no small measure on the heft and weight of our economy. Or ingeniously, the weight of our economy depends on the reach beyond the alliance. The President has gone to town to market our country for such much needed investment and initiated organic adjustments to lure such investment. Mr. President, in the midst of regional trends and tensions, on the nascency of multipolarity in a very complex present-day concert of nations, we admire your creative and practical national address geared to no less than to give greater national security and peace and better living conditions for every Filipino family. The PMA Alumni Association Incorporated is ready to answer your call for greater prosperity and security in the finest tradition of the Filipino soldier in the Battle of Imus in 1896 against Spain, in the Battle of Manila and of Tirad Pass in 1899 against America during the Great Philippine-American War, in the Battle of Mount Samat in World War II, and recently in the battle that liberated Marawi in 2017, and of course, in the campaign to end the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. President, we are ready. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.
At this juncture, Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., Officer in Charge, Department of National Defense, will now introduce our guest of honor and speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos, Jr.
Thank you, Senior Yusek Carlito Galvez Jr. The Chairman, please be seated. The Chairman and CEO, Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated, Ambassador Vidal Querol, Secretary Ed Año, the National Security Advisor, General Andy Centino, Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy, Lieutenant General Ruen S. Tolentino, and our oldest alumni, the class of 1963. Allow me to acknowledge Cavalier Amori Evangelista, host classes, other alumni, and their respected families, the Cadet Corps of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, awardees, and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A pleasant day to you all. It is my pleasure to join you in today's homecoming as we celebrate the long and illustrious history of the Philippine Military Academy. It is an honor to be surrounded by the alumni of the PMA, an institution that has been a pillar of stability and significant part of every part of our country's history. Since its establishment in the 1930s, the PMA has produced selfless individuals who have offered their lives to defend this country and preserve the democratic ideals and freedoms that we all enjoy today. I am filled with gratitude, as is the nation, for your contributions to the collective effort to build our beloved Philippines. In honor of those who have sacrificed their lives to build this path for us, we will continue to develop this country and aspire for better lives for our people. In the past 7 months, we have been working hard to steer the country to a high growth trajectory. The current operating environment is uncertain and grows increasingly complex. As we continue to develop our internal resources, we must pursue a path of prosperity that contributes to goals shared with the international community. We have cemented our bilateral relations with our allies, with our partners, with our friends. And as we work on translating these investments into material benefits for our people, we must ensure that we continue to preserve the security and the safety of our nation. The country has seen heightened geopolitical tensions that do not conform to our and ignite a desire for service in our young cadets. Inspire them once more to become leaders of character. Stay true to the ideals and values such as integrity, service before self, and professionalism that you have gained from the academy that everyone should innately possess as public servants. Rest assured that this government, together with the Filipino people, are with you as we march forward towards achieving a safer, more peaceful, more progressive Philippines. Once again, my warmest greetings to the alumni and congratulations to the awardees. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang PMA. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Mr. President. The regimental commander orders the court to present arms. To present the court to our guest of honor, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines. Please all stand. Thank you. Please be seated.
Military ceremonial parades have been established to bestow honor to the Philippine flag, our national symbol. Recipients of awards and decorations are also accorded this honor. This is also followed by the inspection of the troops, if the reviewing officer so desires. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. was born on 13 September 1957 and raised in the town of Batac, Ilocos Norte. He graduated in Oxford University in 1974 and earned a special diploma in social studies. For over 2 decades, he has dedicated his life to serving the Filipino people. He was elected as the governor of Ilocos Norte, and his term was marked by greater importance placed on improving the province's agriculture, promoting better market opportunities to local farmers, and strengthening environmental policies for sustainable development. He was further elected as congressman and eventually as senator, where he served for several years as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Government. While in Senate, he further advocated for sustainable, affordable, and reliable energy through the bills and resolutions he filed. Ladies and gentlemen, trooping in line before you is our guest of honor and speaker, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., the 17th President, Republic of the Philippines. He is accompanied by the Superintendent, Philippine Military Academy, Lieutenant General Rowan S. Tolentino, Philippine Army, and by the Regimental Commander, Cadet First Captain John Troy Albano, CCAFP. On 09 May 2022, he garnered the largest vote count of any presidential candidate in the nation's history. President Bongbong Marcos is committed to bring the new era in the Philippines that addresses the pressing problems and re-energize development in the country. He is further committed to uniting the nation and delivering a brighter future for the people. He is happily married to the First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos and blessed with 3 children. Looking back at history, trooping the line was brought about by the invasion of mainland Greece by the Dorians in 1200 BC. This is the act of inspecting the soldiers before and after each battle. Today, we still observe this military tradition to signify the common trust between the troops and their commander.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor and speaker, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines.
One of the Academy's cherished traditions is the annual Alumni Homecoming. This allows Cavaliers from different places throughout the archipelago to converge in Luacan and reminisce the time where once in their youthful years they proudly belong. Today's Alumni Homecoming Parade and Review is for all Cavaliers, young and old. Welcome home, sons and daughters of our proud alma mater. Like a caterpillar that webbed its cocoon and soon emerged a butterfly, beautiful to behold, the Academy with all its legacies stand out as a real beacon of the land, immaculate, reverent, and priceless. The annual Alumni Homecoming Parade recaptures its metamorphosis, the glorious transformation of the Philippine Military Academy. This event traces the beginnings of the Philippine Military Academy throughout the 124 years of its existence. From the establishment of the Academia Militar, to the founding of the Philippine Constabulary Academy, to the acceptance of women in the Academy, and to the present-day Philippine Military Academy. The Alumni Homecoming shows several changes that transpired in the Academy, and how the Academy remains steadfast against changes and difficulties that it has faced since its birth. Moreover, the annual Alumni Homecoming is a very nostalgic experience to all Cavaliers. Even the most senior members are taken back to how they lived their youthful years in the four corners of Fort del Pilar. They are reminded of how they were molded from their carefree and simple civilian lives to leaders of character, gentlemen and ladies, and to whatever they have become now. Their cadet days in the Academy have been and will always be a significant phase in their lives. Such memories are treasured and forever be kept at the deepest entrenchments of their hearts and minds. It is also more than just a chance to come back to the Academy and reminisce their remarkable cadet days. It is a chance not only to reconnect with fellow alumni, but to be renewed by the shared memories and ideals between them. It is a time to rekindle the fact that they are bonded by the same duty and united by the values of courage, integrity, and loyalty. It is a momentous event in the Academy's proud heritage. All Cavaliers look forward with great enthusiasm to be in PMA and join the long gray line, to reminisce their glorious cadet days, to strengthen the inviolable bond of camaraderie among them, to be accorded the rare honor of its alma mater, and to have the opportunity to march together and troop the line of the Corps of Cadets in the hallowed grounds of the Borromeo Field. Ladies and gentlemen, passing in front of you are the members of the long gray line, the proud sons and daughters of the Philippine Military Academy, our beloved alma mater.
At this point, Ambassador Vidal E. Quirol, Chairman, PMAAAI, will now present the memento to our guest of honor and speaker.
The PMAer is presented to His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines, and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines. As a memento for being the guest of honor and speaker during the PMA Alumni Homecoming on Saturday, 18th day of February 2023, at Philippine Military Academy, Fort Gregorio H. del Pilar, Baguio City. Likewise, a manifesto of support is presented to His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President, Republic of the Philippines, and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines.
May we request everyone to rise for the singing of the PMA Alma Mater song. Please be seated. The regimental commander orders the corps to pass in review.
Ladies and gentlemen, passing in review before you is the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines, led by the Regimental Commander, Cadet First Captain John Troy Albano from Davao del Norte with the staff, Dexter Ariola from Taguig City, Nicole Sarmiento from Agusan del Norte, Linsa Doral from Tarlac, Thomas Auyang from Batangas, Rosel Nazareno from Oriental Mindoro, Keith Vitor from Cebu, Ron Valeroso from Laguna. The Philippine Military Academy Band, under the baton of Musicians Mate Second Class, Benji O. Tolentino, Philippine Navy. First Battalion Commander, Francis Huwed from Las Piñas, with his staff, Vincent Maglasang from Baguio City, Cyprus Oberbiana from Caloocan City, Silvestre Ocam from Fombenguet, J. Adorador from Zamboanga del Sur, J.V. Gloriani from Baguio City. Alpha Company Commander, Ral Romerosa from Ilagan City, Shem Kabasog from Kalinga, Ariel Wangwang from Mountain Province, Carl Yavan from Kalinga. First Platoon Leader, Lance Batayan from Kalinga. Second Platoon Leader, Alan Bendo from Cavite, with Company First Sergeant J. Tyrus from Misamis Occidental. Bravo Company Commander, Arvin Soriano from Las Piñas City, with his staff, Mary Nicole Teran Llamas from Cebu City, Joseph Benitez from Agusan del Norte, Joseph Gapus from Nueva Vizcaya. First Platoon Leader, Robert Maguilan from Zamboanga del Sur. Second Platoon Leader, James Pamplona from Batangas, with their Company First Sergeant, Emmanuel Kibal from Tanawan City. Chivalry Battalion Commander, Jerome Mendanya from Batangas with the staff, Hejan Marquez from Bulacan, John Gonzaga from Rizal, Dance Bauzon from Cotabato, John Kalugtong from Aurora, J.L. Escoriasa from Pagadian City. Charlie Company Commander, Marcy Diocampo from Mountain Province, Mabel Jumento from Nueva Ecija, Ariston Ramos from Mountain Province, and Ada Harina from Manila. First Platoon Leader, Apol Abin from Camarines Sur. Second Platoon Leader, Ketlo Mactol from Cagayan de Oro City, with their company First Sergeant, Eric Nicdao from Pampanga. Delta Company Commander, Sandre Pabiliar from Quezon Province with the staff, James Tuginay from Ifugao, Jeza Olao from Mountain Province, John Varona from Cebu City. First Platoon Leader, Jason Libasada from North Cotabato. Second Platoon Leader, John Manalo from Oriental Mindoro, with their company First Sergeant, Jeron Frondozo from Coronadal City.
As the colors pass in front of you, may we request everyone to rise and render the appropriate courtesy. You may sit down after the colors have passed. Ladies and gentlemen, the colors, led by its color officer, Cadet First Class Jodimar Cabulisan from Cagayan. Umitil Battalion Commander, John Misaon from Quezon City, with his staff, Franz Rosal from Davao City, Arla Bahingawan from Ifugao, Carl Bokida from Zamboanga del Sur, Andre Shoko from Cagayan, Jen Ilagan from Nueva Ecija. Eco Company Commander, Jordan Pachago from Mountain Province, with his staff, Nino Flores from Naga City, Zimri Cambonga from Dumaguete City, Jean Arsenal from Zamboanga, Sibugay. First Platoon Leader, Kent De Fontorum from Cebu. Second Platoon Leader, Del Ahmad from Cebu. With their company First Sergeant, Tiny Basungit from Mountain Province. Foxtrot Company Commander, Vince Icaro from Batangas with his staff, Duke Reforba from Baguio City, Jasper Balunso from Rizal, Ralph Papagayo from Ilocos Sur. First Platoon Leader, Joseph Gamayo from La Union. Second Platoon Leader, Jonathan De Guzman from Pangasinan. With their company First Sergeant, James Manuel from Taguig City. Dignity Battalion Commander, Rico Fernandez from Zamboanga del Sur with his staff, John Nicolas Bustillo from Benguet, Erwin Escaño from Laguna, Matthew Santos from Taguig City, Nicole Amigo from Cavite, Errol Tonzo from Iligan City. Gulf Company Commander, Joshua Pitogo from Batangas with his staff, Emmanuel Carido from Pangasinan, Israel Abraham from Negros Occidental, Ethan Jassen from Baguio City. First Platoon Leader, Warren Lagangilong from Itogon. Second Platoon Leader, Sangkad Batalo from Ilocos Sur. With their company First Sergeant, Ronnie Aliparo from Pampanga. Hawk Company Commander, Gabriel Salonga from Rizal with his staff, Andro Novesteros from Negros Oriental, Paulo Sismundo from Cebu City, Christian Salamera from Aurora. First Platoon Leader, Eugene Alfonso from Abra. Second Platoon Leader, Joseph Bulalin from Pasay City. With their company First Sergeant, Antonio Balinte from Baguio City. That concludes this annual alumni homecoming ceremony. Welcome home, Cavaliers. Thank you for visiting our proud alma mater, the Philippine Military Academy. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas. Likewise, everyone is reminded to please remain in their seats. Thank you. Once again, everyone is reminded to please remain in their seats. Thank you. Once again, everyone is reminded to please remain in their seats. Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is reminded to please remain in their seats. Thank you.